you think, now we just talked about the sea change in the party in response to the way the Democrats changed how they went after votes in New Hampshire. So at the current time, what do you think the average New Hampshire citizen thinks of the New Hampshire Republican Party?
Well, the New Hampshire Republican Party has been getting a lot of bad press. The legislature, particularly the House, and again, this is a coordinated strategy on the part of our opponents, the Democrats, to make it personal, to go after Speaker O'Brien specifically, personally, to highlight. As we did when the Democrats were in charge, you take a bill that seems a little bit out in left field, or right field in this case, and you highlight that, you get it on the front page of the Union Leader, the letters to the editor show up. It's a coordinated effort to say, wow, these House Republicans, these folks, they're out of control, they're too far right, they're extremists, all of the same, all the same adjectives we hear used. And if that's what's in the news, you end up with poll results like we had recently that says that there's a larger percentage of New Hampshire citizens who see the Republican leadership in the legislature as a potential problem. Now, that means that our messaging is not up to par, that we are not getting our side out, our word out in those pages of those newspapers, on the front pages of those newspapers. We have a great record of accomplishment. Our new Republican majority that was elected in 2010 has been doing a fantastic job, particularly on the budgetary issues. They're really knocking it out of the park, but I fear that the word is not getting out the way that it needs to. But there again, that's why we need active committees at the local level, because those are the folks who are going to talk to people they know in town, and they're going to be able to counter this bad press at a person-to-person, one-on-one level, to make it clear to your friends and neighbors that here are the good things that the Republican leadership in the House and Senate have been working on. And here's why we need to support them. Here's why they need to be reelected. And that's a message that has to go out year-round, every year, not just those few weeks leading up to the election. I mean, obviously, leading up to this election this year, we'll step up our advertising. We'll step up our communications. There'll be signs in every square inch of every roadside. But we can't wait until then. We have to be active year-round. Great example of how that needs to be the case are these special elections that we've suffered through over the past year. We haven't done very well. The Republican Party has not done very well at these special elections. Now, why is that? Well, you can dismiss it as, well, the Democrats have more at stake. They are looking for a big PR win. They're looking to get Democrats elected, particularly in Hillsborough County, where I believe we started off the new term in 2011 with a whopping one Democrat who was elected within the Hillsborough County area. Obviously, there are a few in Manchester and Nashua, and we completely swept the county races. There aren't any elected Democrats at the Hillsborough County level. But then we had these special elections. Now there are a few. Now that's a warning sign. It's not, we didn't lose our majority, we didn't lose our supermajority as a result of it. These people were elected to a tiny minority in the House. But it's an indicator, it's a red flag, it's a signal to us that we were not doing as good a job of getting the word out, that we weren't as organized as the other side, and we need to be before we get to this next general election. We've got to do that full-time communications that we've talked about.
Do you think party enrollment's been affected by the messaging problem?
Well, our party enrollment was improving, distinctly improving over the last couple of years, certainly leading up to the 2010 elections. We surpassed, I believe we surpassed the Democrats in total registration. They had got the jump on us there for a while. I'm not sure that party registration is as much of an indicator as it used to be. I would like to see more registered Republicans, but you know what? If you're a registered undeclared independent, but yet you're an independent conservative and you're going to be voting for our conservative candidates that we put forth, the fact that you're not registered as a Republican, I don't have any problem with that, unless you're going to run for office, in which case if you want the support of the Republican Party, obviously you have to register as a Republican. If those undeclareds and independents are conservatives, I don't have any problem with that. Nationwide, we have seen a dramatic shift of party registration in favor, away from the Democrats and in favor of the Republicans. And a lot of those people changed from Democrat to independent. But we have seen a few percentage points added to the Republican ranks, and nationally that's been a big change. So we'll see what the numbers come out to be. Obviously, the presidential primary has affected that, because people changing their registration to pull a Republican ballot this year. But I believe that we saw a drop-off in registration in both party, Republican and Democrat, and move towards that undeclared status because people were disgusted with party politics in general, and they just didn't feel as if either party was really serving their needs. I believe if we get the word out about the accomplishments of our new Republican majority and how they are leading this state, we will see a lot of those independents come on back and change their registration to Republican, and I would love to see that.
Okay, we've covered just about everything on recruitment and coordinating. How about fundraising? I know you do fundraising at the local level. You've had a lot of experience with it, the county level. How do you expand on that? Obviously, you're going to work with committee chairmen and stuff, but what are your bright ideas outside of just growing enrollment at the committee level?
Well, growing enrollment at the committee level is certainly part of that. When we talk about fundraising, I think we need to address more of our fundraising efforts towards the people that we're trying to help with our legislative accomplishments, and that being business people, small business people in particular. Small businessman can look at a donation to the Republican Party as an investment to keep a strong and healthy economy here that will attract the employees that they need, will attract the business that they want, that will keep the government off their back and out of their pockets and allow them to do what they need to do to grow their businesses and hire more people. I think when we talk about fundraising events at the town and the county level, we see a lot of the same people buying those tickets to those events every single time. The long-time loyal Republicans who know that it takes money to win elections. I mean, Governor Sununu, when he was state chair, give till it hurts. He had two main messages: talk to your friends and neighbors and get the word out, as we've been talking about here. But the second part was, we need help financially to make this work. And much like the work that goes into a fundraising event, we always say many hands make light work. The more volunteers we have to put these events together, the less that each individual has to be burdened with to put a real successful event together. The same applies to who's buying those tickets. If we have more people involved and engaged, and we put together interesting events that can attract some people who are outside the usual suspects for buying tickets to events, we can really expand our base. We can meet a lot of good conservatives and conservative independents and Republicans, and we can make the case that this is an investment in your future here in the state of New Hampshire to keep it the live free or die state, to maintain individual liberties, to maintain low taxes, to maintain a small government. I mean, that it takes money to save you money. When we're talking about keeping taxes low taxes are the result of low spending. That takes effort. That takes dedicated individuals to be elected to office here in New Hampshire, and it takes money to get them elected. So we have to make the case that it's an investment in your future to keep New Hampshire the great state that it is. And I know that the fundraising efforts at the state level have definitely picked up. They're getting more organized. We're getting our fiscal house in order there. Donations and ticket sales to events are up, county level, town level, all over the state. I mean, we're going to be in even better position for this election in 2012 than we were in 2010, and we did pretty well that year. We did pretty well with the money that we had, and what we did with it. It was well targeted, it was well used, and obviously we had a great result. So my efforts as far as fundraising, again, are going to be concentrating at that local level, helping out with logistics, helping out with getting activists motivated and organized. But as a member of the executive committee, I'll also be participating more at the state level fundraisers to make sure that we keep those donations coming in, again, from individuals and for businesses who can see that as an investment in their future.
Okay, we've covered a lot of territory, and hardly any at the same time. We're just about out of time in our free space here. So is there anything you can think of that Mark Vincent brings to the table that we haven't covered that makes you the best possible choice for Hillsborough County and for Area 3 Vice Chair?
Well, I think we've covered most of the areas that I wanted to as far as qualifications. I bring experience, I bring knowledge, I bring enthusiasm, and a real strong interest in keeping our party strong, keeping our government limited, keeping our individual freedoms secure, keeping our taxes low. And I just want to continue that trend and increase my involvement at the state level and keep us moving in the right direction. And if you live in Hillsborough County and you're an elected member of the Nashua or Manchester City Committees or of the Hillsborough County Committee, I ask for your vote, I ask for your support, and I will be an additional voice for you at the state committee level and help all of our Hillsborough County cities and towns be successful electing good Republicans year after year, election after election.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. This is a Grok TV presentation. We've been talking to Mark Vincent, the chairman of the Amherst Republican Town Committee. Mark, thanks very much for taking some time to talk to Granite Grok.
Thank you, Steve.
All right, have a good night.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Grok TV.